Hello again. One of the big talking points in regards to Ineos taking over and everything they are planning on doing at Manchester United is what they will decide to do with Old Trafford. Now, I will say what I would prefer to happen, but this is just my opinion, and I am not in any way suggesting that people who prefer the other solution are wrong. I believe that there are numerous positives in both trying to renovate the existing stadium and making it better, but also in building a brand new stadium. In most things regarding how I like to support my football club and how I like to see football in general, I am proud to say that I considered myself to be quite old-fashioned and traditional. History, traditions, values, all these things play a big part in what Manchester United and football are to me. So my preference, and I am not saying that this is right or wrong, it is just what I personally would prefer, would be to keep Old Trafford and try to renovate it. I get the impression that a lot of people think that our stadium is this archaic building in an absolute mess that is falling apart and everything about it is in a dreadful state. I would like to say that even though it definitely needs to improve and there are parts of it that should be in a far better condition, the situation is not as presented at all. If you've been to Old Trafford, you will know what I am talking about. And the truth is that regardless of how often someone goes to that stadium, every single time you step inside, you cannot help but admire it because it still is an amazing football ground. Apparently, one of the elements that has excited a lot of people is the potential capacity that a new stadium might have. Reports have suggested something around 90,000. Now, obviously, having an even bigger stadium is very positive. But if you've ever been to a stadium of that size, if that is Old Trafford or any other stadium with a capacity of over 60,000 to watch a game and you have sat in the top tier of those stadiums, you will know that the view from up there is really not that great. It almost feels like the pitch is miles away. So actually having more of that is not really something I am extremely bothered about. Yes, I obviously cannot argue that the bigger the better, but it's not something that really makes a huge difference to my opinion overall. Another point or argument that comes with the idea of wanting a new stadium is that a lot of people want to have a brand new, modern, state-of-the-art football stadium, like for example Tottenham have. Personally, I don't really like a football stadium to have the same feeling as a high-tech, modern, spectacular theatre. I want the football ground to give me the same old school, traditional football feeling. I want it to have a football soul. And even though no one can deny that these new stadiums are very luxurious and impressive, they do very often feel soulless. In some conversations I've had about this subject, when I explain that I don't want to see Old Trafford getting replaced by a brand new modern football stadium, I get the same question. You would prefer to renovate an old stadium rather than having what could possibly be the best football stadium in England only because of your emotional attachment? And the answer is very simply yes. That is why I would prefer to keep Old Trafford and renovate it. Only out of emotional attachment. Because emotional attachment and feelings are the reason we do this. This is actually the only reason we support a football club. There is no other reason for what we do. We, the fans, have absolutely nothing to gain from supporting a football team. Everything we do is because of emotions and feelings. So yes, my emotions dictate my preference to keep the stadium that has been the home of Manchester United throughout so many historical great moments. My emotional attachment is the one and only reason I want the Manchester United of the future to continue to play in the same stadium that so many Manchester United legends played in the past. I would hate to see Old Trafford being demolished. I understand why fans see these amazing modern stadiums in Europe and want something similar for United. But never forget, we are Manchester United. We are better. We are different.